Hello everybody, how is it going? So, today we're playing Law, post Banlist. My list will be at the end of this video. It's definitely a work in progress. Deck definitely has some problems right now, so I will continue to work on it, but pretty much we're playing Bonnie, we're playing Momo, and we're playing Izo, because Momo can add Izo, so that was kind of the idea. Momo is like a half a Dodon, but not as good, because if you tap him, they clear him, and you don't get to eat a life early, and it's sad, but it's alright. I don't know if you even necessarily need to play the Izo and such. The cards, they feel very meh, but obviously without Nami, we gotta do something, right? So yeah, list will be at the end, we'll talk about it. I'll probably mention a couple changes I was thinking of, but yeah, we're up against Film Kid, which I predict to be very solid in this format. I think he has the amount of blockers to deal with Big Mom. He has the double attack on Leader, which is very good at closing out games against Yellow and against many other decks. Sometimes against control decks you can literally just sit there and double swing every turn and it's funny. But yeah, the current game right now, we are going to be able to Leader effect on curve, which is very good. Happy we got there. We do have the Searcher plus Raizo combo. I'm iffy on Raizo. I'm iffy on a lot of cards in the list right now, but I just kind of slammed some stuff together and called it a day. Had an idea, just made the deck, and we're just sitting here testing it, seeing how sad we are. But no, I do genuinely think that Law will develop. I don't think I'm necessarily going to be the person that creates the list that works very well, but I'm sure someone will, and I'll definitely keep working on this. I have a feeling that playing 8-drop Kid might be the vibes. I'm not sure, because I mean, removal this format seems very, very light. Like after, the red bans, it's like no one's really gonna play black, right? Because that just hard loses to Yellow. Rebecca and Croc both kind of hard lose to Yellow. They might still play them, but I feel like it's just gonna be like Yellow and like Green are gonna be the two decks right now. And Green does have, ways to tap your cards. Mainly, honestly, we don't have to really worry about it with Film Kid, because they play mostly Film. They don't really play the tap stuff. They might play Izos, but that's really it. They do play Chopper, as you see, so that's, I guess, like the one card we have to worry about. But we are playing the Izo, which adds Vista, so we're a bit less concerned than we normally would be. We definitely have some jank plays here. A huge problem that I now realize is that it's very hard to actually find Zoro and Law, because your only searcher that'll find both is Bonnie, and you can only add one off Bonnie. So yeah, hitting that consistently is not going to happen very often. Yeah, the deck might play differently, honestly. It might just be we play 8-drop Kid and abuse our Leader effect to gain a lot of advantage. To be fair, that's kind of not how I want the deck to play. Honestly, I want the deck to be Law, so maybe I'm yapping right now, but it's alright. We're in an okay spot. We have, our board is pretty decent, minus the Otama, just randomly there. We don't really find a good target to bounce there. I really want either a Restand Law or a Blocker Law. We thankfully find one. We find the better of the two, I think, because we can grab back that Otama. We might just have to leave the Bonnie there, but she can kind of just be a blocker. Or we'll just leave the Zoro there and we'll bounce the Otama and the Bonnie and play a Searcher. Either one could be fine, but we're going to swing 7 with Zoro. We'll get Punk Gibsoned. Yeah, it's whatever. We're going to have to eat it eventually, right? We're going to swing a bunch this turn. I'm just slamming 7s. I don't think any green trigger pops a card, so I'm not too worried about that. We're going to bounce Otama, play Law, bounce, what's her name? Bonnie. Play down the Veggie. So we're just walling up. We're going to try to protect our board. That is the hope anyway. He's going to clear the Haruda. Yeah, I'm not going to try to defend that. I might block with Law here and like counter for 2. We might get hit with 10 drop Dofi, but you know, what could go wrong? I think there is definitely an argument to just let that Zoro go and eat the 10 drop. But for some reason, he did this, like, I think twice, that he just doesn't freeze my Zoro. Like, my Zoro matters more than my leader, because I can restand with my Zoro. So I immediately play the Bonnie. I'm like, yep, I'm just going to keep looking for restand Law. And, yeah, I'm just going to probably split 2 attacks here. Just go 8-8 with the Zoro I have on board. And the 1 in hand after I use my leader effect. I'll block the first 8 with Luffy, counter for 2. We'll swing another 8. He already dropped a 2k, so if he has 2 more, I mean, he's gaming, but yep, we do take that last life. And now this turn, he's kind of forced to go for game unless he has another 10 drop. And as I just said, I think he does it twice, so I'm pretty sure that he does have another 10 drop. I think this format, if I can't figure out a Law list that I enjoy playing, at least, not that I'm saying I don't enjoy playing this, it's just like, you get into so many spots where you're like, man, this just blows. So, yeah, he's gonna clear my Zoro. I counter out of 1 of the Zoro attacks because I'm like, yeah, I kind of want to save 1, and we're still 1 above the number, so we still have 1 attacker. And for some reason, he leaves my Zoro again, so I'm definitely not complaining. I find the restand Law, which is the punish. I'm very happy. I'm putting all my Dawn on Zoro, and I'm just going 10-10. Good luck. So he blocks the first one, bounce into restand Law, attack 10, and we get it. The games might look a little bit fast. I'm not playing that fast. I sped this up a bit because I have 3 games and they were all pretty long. Mostly due to the last one. Actually, 4 games, including this rematch. So, yeah, the games kind of took a little bit because the last matchup is Queen. I'll spoil it. So, it took a long time. But our opening hand is okay. Honestly, Vista seems pretty good. Into at least just not having to dedicate an attack to that Bonnie. That's cool. Or we can just save it, and we do have an Otama, so we can try to clear an early engine, like a Nami or something. He'll hit me for 5, I'm just going to take that. And he just passes, so he might get hit with Punk Gibson, but if he wants to Punk Gibson this, that's cool. Because we just Vista it anyway, and it's like the best feeling in the world. See, it drops 2, including the Punk Gibson. Okay, eat the Vista. And I'm just going to hard play the Nami because the only real rest card I'm worried about is like Chopper, and he didn't establish a Chopper, so I'm not stressing. I'll clear the Haruta. Yeah, it was inevitable. Can't save that. And then he has 3 Dawn, just restands and attacks me for 7. That's cool. I'll take some more cards. We're on 6 now. We're not going to be able to leader effect, which is unfortunate, but it's okay. We're just going to attack for 5 with lead. We'll use the Bonnie and then just restand the Bonnie. We will whiff, which is unfortunate. And, yep, getting delayed our leader effect a turn always feels really bad, but, you know, nothing we really could have done about it. But he had the Punk Gibson. We could have just not attacked, but I felt like the exchange of him dropping 2 cards, including the Punk Gibson, to just get Visted on the thing he saved anyway felt pretty good. So we'll use our Nami. We find either another Zoro or a Beji. I have 2 Zoros in hand and a Beji in hand. I just go with the Zoro because Zoros feel very sparse, however you say that word. So I'm like, yeah, let me just load up on these Zoros. I might, yeah, I think the better play is just attack with Vista and then play down the Beji here. He'll counter for 1. I'm happy with this. Yeah, I wasn't gonna try to swing 7 on everything to get around the Luffy. I'll just go baseline. If he free blocks 1, that's cool. But we got the best result where he didn't free block any of those, and I'm just not gonna use my Zoro, so he doesn't get any free value, which is definitely nice. He's on 9 Dawn now. Immediately goes 7 on leader. Okay. Clears my Bonnie with the Zoro. Attacks me for 7. Yeah, I'm kind of comfortable taking that. I still have 2 blockers. Have a Bonnie in hand. I'll be able to fight back for board pretty easily. I also probably won't lose my Law this turn, so yeah, we're okay. He's gonna play Luffy Brook into Barto, restanding his Luffy. Okay, honestly, our spot isn't looking that good. We might just die next turn. So we're gonna go 5 at the Barto. Might as well clear it. I had the Vista, but I kind of just wanted to play down the Bonnie. It's super awkward because I also want to play the Otama to attack the Zoro, and then we whiff off the Bonnie, so I guess I was just supposed to play Otama. I should have known. Shit, come on, I just gotta play better. And I guess now we can swing 7s and just see how it works out. We'll go 7 at Zoro. Yeah, he just kind of has to let that go. We'll go 5 at life. I just kind of want him to tap a Luffy so I can clear it. We're a little bit scared, honestly. I'm going to start sacking off my characters to go wider, which feels kind of bad. I mean, alternatively, I could just swing with Law and then restand Law, and then I can't use him again because I will die. I might die regardless. So we're just going to play Zoro, attack for 5, and he will do something. Let's see. Okay, he actually just DCs. That's really unfortunate. Honestly, I probably lose that game. We can say I lost that game because it was not looking good. Next game, though, is against Green-Purple Dofi. Once again, I expect to be another very solid deck in this format. But he is not playing the film variant. He's playing, like, good cards deck. I don't know. Sounds fun. But our opening turn was just Izo into the Thatch. The Thatch honestly does work pretty well in the deck. It's still a little bit awkward, but it makes sense, right? Because, you know, it's just like basically a 1-cost 4K that also has counter. And you just bounce him so he doesn't get popped, and you get to keep the counter, which is cool. We do have a very odd answer to that Okiku of just Izoing it and then Otamaing it. I was kind of just expecting him to drop an event, but I don't think he has one, so I was pretty happy about that. We're going to play Bonnie, find another Bonnie, and again, it's like, no play feels good. Like, I guess I could bounce Otama into restand Law and just restand the Bonnie, but I was like, nah, I'm just going to get greedy and sack off a Bonnie to hopefully find a blocker Law. And I do. I get the Rizo down, and yeah, honestly, it doesn't look too bad. Like, sure, we have a lot of, like, bodies on the board that kind of aren't doing anything. Like, the Izo is still, like, it's an attack. It's just 2 Dawn. It's really not that bad. Thatch is an attack. I mean, yeah, it's alright. I'll go 5. The only reason I countered out of this is because I was like, he's playing a jank version of this deck. He might be playing, Treble, and I'm like, I don't want my Law to get popped, so I'm just gonna counter that. Then he'll play down Okiku and Rizo, attack me for 5, and yeah, now I'll take the free block. That's cool with me. And I assume he'll just pass. So we're just gonna clear the Momo, probably with the Izo, probably attack Thatch into Robin, and then, you know, whatever. We'll go from there. We'll see what happens. We're probably just playing Restand Law this turn. Yeah, we'll go 2 with Izo into the Momo. He could, like, obliterate me with, like, a Punk Gibson here. I kind of, like, considered that after I swung 2 at the Momo. But I was like, nah, it'll be fine. We'll use Thatch ability, give him a Dawn, attack for 5 at Robin. He'll counter for 1. We'll go 1 Dawn on Rizo, attack for 5 at Robin, draw a card, pick up an Izo. Feels good. He'll counter again for 1. We'll go 2 Dawn on our Izo, attack it for 5. He'll counter for 2. Okay, we'll attack it again with Leader. He'll counter for 2. Stop! We'll counter for, or deck for 7. He'll let it go. Use Leader, take back Thatch, play Restand Law, Restand Law. I'm just gonna attack because he has an Okiku, and it's like, it's gonna get rested anyway. He says you can have her after I swung like my whole board into that Robin. Yeah, that was a good exchange for me. I got like 4 cards out of hand. That felt pretty good. So he has, I mean, his board is definitely not, I guess, as scary as our board. We're definitely kind of developing. We kind of want him to clear the Izo, either Izo. I just realized I have Searcher Izo and the green Izo, my bad. And right here, I was like, I'm probably getting 10 dropped, right? So I kind of want to save this Ezo just to attack with it. See, I'm getting a 2k, and then I'm also going to defend leader, which could be completely troll, but I get 2 attacks instead of 1. And that kind of matters, right? Because he's tapping out with no blockers. So yep, goes 5 at the Ezo. I definitely think about it, but I'm like, it feels bad to counter out of this, but I'm going to do it. So we're going to drop the other Ezo in hand and the Thatch. And we get 10 dropped, tapping, or I guess freezing my my blocker law, my Rhizo, and my leader. And I'm left with my Ezo attack and my restand law attack. We find a blocker law, but we ran into a problem of our whole board is green. This kind of sucks. Yeah, and that's kind of a problem that I'll bring up later, is that I definitely need to play at least some red top end. I'm definitely just going to throw in the 1 5-cost Marco. We might not play any events to save him, but like he's still just a body that pops something. He's a big Vista, 6k body. In scenarios like this, it feels pretty fine. Something to find up Ezo as well. And we're going to sack off the Bonnie for the Otama, play Law into Vista, pop the Okiku. So our blocker actually gets to be a blocker this turn, which is nice. Can't complain at that. And he plays 9 Kaido as well. I was shitting bricks, honestly. But we should pretty easily live. But we do have to counter these little pokes, which feels bad, especially already only having 5 cards in hand. And like he'll probably just end up going for board, but maybe I'm just supposed to eat them. Eat this, eat this. No, I can't eat them. I could eat like one of them and then counter out of the other. But yeah, now he's just gonna go for board. Swings 10 at my blocker law. Swings 4 at my Rhizo. I'm gonna counter that. You're definitely just going at my restand loss. I'll take another draw next turn. Could be impactful. I'll play Beji, and I just have to go for this, right? Like I'm just gonna play Ezo, tap the Beji, and hope it works out. I don't know what choice I really have here. So yeah, we'll play Ezo. To be fair, I could just live a turn, but yeah, we do have 2 Begis. So we're gonna attack for 5. He Thunder Bagwas. We'll probably just go 5 again. And then, I just realized I had 2 Begis. I'm like, I can probably live with 2 life and 2 blockers. So, yeah, I'll just go 5, draw an Otama. More counters cool. But he instantly takes that 5k, and it could have been an immaculate bait, but I just swing 9. I'm like, yeah, let's get it. And I do get the win. I'm sorry, like the windscreen flash there. I sped these games up, and I was like, I kind of cut that at a bad time, so that's my bad. But yeah, we somehow get that game. I wouldn't say somehow. We honestly, we had decent draws. We were definitely playing. But finally, we are up against Queen, and it was a good matchup for us. I still think it's pretty okay, because Queen hates getting poked by like your little searchers, and we can still do a lot of that. So matchup still should probably be okay. I just vomit my whole hand, by the way, turn 2, because I was like, Queen doesn't play any like little removal. Like if he wants to, again, 3,000 Worlds of Momo, go for it. That's fine with me. And he is actually attacking life, so that is an upside. Sometimes they don't. It's probably technically a misplay to attack my life, so I accept. I'm appreciative that he does it. But it could be just that he doesn't want to drag out the game too long, so I appreciate that if that's the case. But we do pick up the Ezo off the Momo. There's the combo I was talking about. We'll play down Otama, reduce Sanji, and then pop it with Vista after using leader into Law. We'll attack for 5 with the Thatch. I'm kind of cool with sacking it off just so I have some room next turn. I could have just left my Otama on board, but I like having it in hand because it's a 2k. To be fair though, I wouldn't really be countering out of anything, so maybe I'm just supposed to use Thatch, bounce Thatch, but it's alright. He's on 6 Dawn, so like, what's he really gonna do, right? Attacks me for 7, I'll eat that, then he 3,000 Worlds me. Okay, this is where the game gets bad, because I have no way to top end, which is definitely my fault. I think for this list, I definitely need at least 1 5 cost I can add off Momo, and 1 5 cost I can add off of Izo. Probably like 2 of each, or maybe just one, like 1 5-drop Marco off the Izo, and like maybe 2 Yamatos or something. I don't know. I'll have to figure it out. Could also play like Denjiro just for a big body that I can bounce into, that I can also search. I don't know. This list definitely needs some work, and I'll work on it. But I mean, it functions. But when you get in spots like this, it feels super, super bad. And thankfully, Queen is a pretty slow deck, so I can kind of just abuse all my searchers because he has no board presence right now. And just keep going plus. Although I won't find my laws off these searchers, I'll just find a lot of counter power and maybe some Rizos. And honestly, bouncing into a Rizo doesn't feel the absolute worst considering my other options to just not use leader effect. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. He attacks Vista for 7, right? Yeah, and then plays down double blocker and stacks the top of his deck. So he's setting up for next turn. Scary. Yeah, let me know if you guys have any ideas for the list. Obviously, again, it'll be at the end of the video. If you guys think it shouldn't even be playing like the Wano cards, and it should just, like, I don't even know what else to do. My other idea was like the 2-drop film law, and I just try to abuse that with like Robin. But like, there's no way to search it, right? I guess you can Bonnie, but you don't want to Bonnie early, but you want to Law early, so it's yeah, I don't know how that's gonna work, if it will work. But we're gonna Vista the Brûlée, we're gonna bounce Vista, play Izo, attack it for 4. I could have also just played down the restand law, but I was like, nah. Let me just clear this, and then both, or at least one of my Momos will stick again, so I can keep getting advantage. Maybe find a Rizo. Yeah, he eats that, goes to 1. This should be either his Yamato turn or his Mihawk turn. Whatever he has. Yamato, wait, no, if he doesn't have Yamato, he might just die. So it needs to be Yamato. Because if he Mihawks, I can just swing at him with my little bodies. He'll probably live, but you never know. Goes 1 Dawn on lead, attacks for 6 at my Momo. Yep, it's gone. Then plays down Yamato. I assume he's gonna pop my Momo, but maybe he'll go for the Izo, just because it's more of an attacker than anything on my board. I don't know what this list needs. How do I make it make sense, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, it's rough. But we've top deck a Bonnie, and I fully expected to whiff because I've been bottom decking a lot of laws, and I have not been keeping track of where they are. So yeah, that was expected. We'll probably just restand it, and like if he pops it with something, that's sad. But what are you gonna do? We'll go 5 with Izo, 5 with leader, just trying to reduce his hand size. We'll search with Momo. We'll whiff off Momo. There goes 2 of our laws. If only I waited 1 more search. It's okay. We'll play down, what's his name? Haruto, I think? Haruta, my bad. And then we'll bounce something. What do we bounce? We bounced an Izo to play restand law, and we'll restand the Bonnie. He'll red rock the restand law, which definitely sucks, but it's okay. Play down the Brûlée. Heal 1 off leader. Doesn't swing with Yamato, which, I mean, fair enough. And we're back to whiffing off Bonnies. We'll find either, I guess, Rush Zoro, so we can take back a Bonnie to hand and not feel the absolute worst. Sure. We'll play down Vista, pop the Brûlée, use Haruta effect. Yeah, we'll just swing with the Izo. If I get hit with like a 3000 Worlds trigger or a Red Rock trigger, I'm sad. But, what could go wrong? He'll counter out of this. He definitely might not. He only has 2 cards in hand. Uh-oh. Okay, he takes it. Doesn't get a trigger. We're happy about it. We'll go 5 again. He'll counter out of that one. We'll use leader, take back a Bonnie, play Zoro, attack for 5 again. He'll eat that, and he'll get a Sanji trigger, which is really, really good. And what does he need here that'll keep him in the game? Just any other like removal top end, honestly. Goes 9 at my Zoro. We'll let him go. Don't have a little blocker to even think about defending that. Goes 1 Dawn on leader. Probably clears the Bonnie. Heals 1. Yep, we'll just let the Bonnie go. We do have another one, thankfully, so we might be okay. And he'll bottom deck my my Vista, which is unfortunate, because I definitely wanted to Vista the Sanji. We're going to play Bonnie, find a blocker law. That's good. We'll have some defense at least. We'll play down Izo, pick up a Thatch, play a Beji. Yeah, it's just probably... Oh, okay, we can Izo tap the Sanji. That's not a bad idea either. And probably just clear the Sanji. Yeah, we'll give some Dawn to Haruta with his effect, and just putting one on there. I think about going lead, but I'm like, nah, I'm not going to kill him. And then next turn I'll have to deal with this blocker, and I'd rather not, so I'll clear the blocker, attack for 5 with my lead. He'll probably take it. Like, he knows he lives. It's like, at most I have 1 more attack here. Whether it just be 3 Dawn on Izo, or like leader effect into Rush Zoro or something. And he does get a Boa trigger, which is annoying. But I don't have a Vista anymore, so we're a little bit sad. So we're going to play double blocker using our leader effect. Just passing. He's in a pretty bad spot. I wouldn't say bad, but he needs to clear like some of my board. We find a blocker law of life, which is pretty good. We could always just search with it, I guess. I'm just going to eat all these hits. I'm not going to give up any of my board if I don't have to. I'll like Beji if need be, but yeah. He'll play down Boa. He is walling up. Goes 7 Dawn lead. Alright, you got the Beji. He's gone. So, I really want a Vista right now, but it's okay. We'll just go wide because he has 1 card in hand. We'll try to just get him to use the Boas. So, blocks with 1. I'll probably play down the Izo to tap the other one. I'm sorry, I know I'm playing both Izos. Wano Izo. So yeah, we'll tap the Boa with the Izo, and then attack for 5 at lead. He'll counter. Now I could kill like one of his top ends, and I think about it, but I'm like, nah, I just want to get his life down. I'm getting sick of this game. He gets another Boa trigger. We're just going to clear the other one with our Izo, and we'll leader effect after swinging with Law. You see, like, if we had another Vista right now, it'd be so sweet, because we just use leader effect, pop the 3rd Boa, and then attack for 6, he'll be on 0, and we should have plenty of counter to live, but we don't. So we'll just wall up even harder. So yeah, he pretty much, like, yeah, that's probably the best draw he could have had there. Pops my Beji, kind of still got the max value out of Yamato, and he can go up to 3 life this turn. So I was like, damn, that top deck really hurt. I'm pretty sure it was past the 5 cards he looked at with Dofi, so yeah, I was a bit upset, but it's okay. He'll clear out my Izo with 1 Dawn on leader. He'll attack Yamato at my face for 9. We'll block and then double 2k, and he'll do the same with Mihawk, and we'll do the same thing. We did amass an absolutely massive hand, which is cool, but we didn't play the game for most of the game, so that was a bit unfortunate. I had to check my graveyard to see how many Izos or Vistas I used. Only used 1. I'm playing 2 at the current moment, so I'm like, I have 3 Izos. Surely one of them will find him. And thankfully we found him. So now I'm just gonna try to go for game. We'll go 2 Dawn on the green Izo. Attack for 5. Obviously, he has to take, doesn't get a trigger. We'll go 5 with leader. He will eat that one. So I'm like, okay, 1 non-counter. I'll go 6. He'll drop a 2k. I'll go 6. No, he has to take that. And now it's just a toss-up if he just grabbed the 2k or not. And at this point, I was like, I'm committed, so let's just hope he didn't. Says GG's. I honestly completely missed it. I'm sorry, Mr. Opponent. It was a good game. It took a little bit, but that's alright. But we do get it, which is cool. Yeah, and let's talk about the list for a little bit. Alright, so here is the list. The Supernova stuff, I didn't really want to change much. It's 4 Bonnie, 4 of each Law, 4 Veggie, 4 Zoro, and yeah, that's pretty much all the Supernovas. For the Whitebeard stuff, 4 Izo, 4 the 1-drop Thatch, 2 Haruta, 2 Vista, 4 Jozu. For the Wano stuff, it's 4 Momo, 4 Izo, Green Izo, 4 Otama, and 2 Raizo. So this is what I came up with. Definitely not optimized at all yet, but yeah, I think the main problem I was running into is sometimes my board was just all green. So definitely having more red cards to bounce into other than Zoro would be good. So either I'm going to play some 5-drop Luffy's, I might include the 5-drop Marco. Yeah, that's definitely a problem I felt like was apparent. There aren't many proactive 1-drops that, like, you know, obviously we want 1-drop searchers on play. After Nami and Dodon both are gone, we don't really have another like red engine outside of Whitebeard Pirates, so I think we're almost forced into playing the Izo. So Momo sounded, and just Wano in general sounded pretty complimentary because he can add Otamas, and we're always going to play Otamas, and he can add the Izo searcher, which is super nice. And I added the 2 Raizos because I was like, yeah, the card is good, but you know, it's like another target to play off our Law if we don't have Zoro. But yeah, the list, it feels okay, honestly. It's still pretty good into decks that don't have removal, and again, as I was saying, I don't think a lot of decks are going to be playing removal unless you run into another person that's also playing red post-ban. So yeah, I mean, I definitely have to test out more cards. I thought about the film engine. I just don't think it's gonna work that well, but I might have to try it. We'll see. But yeah, here's a list if anyone has any suggestions, or if you guys just want to try it and tell me what you think about it. So yeah, anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one.